was going into all these castings, and they're always calling you in for the role of the bad guy, you know? The terrorist or the bad guy, or you know, and voilà.
Voilà. Et en fait, c'était quelque chose de récurrent.
Yeah.
Et je me suis dit, c'est il fallait en parler ici.
Yeah.
C'est-à-dire quand les comédiens, on peut interpréter n'importe quel genre de personnage.
Yes.
Et le fait de montrer que ça, quelque part, on stigmatise des gens, on les met dans des...
Totally. So, I mean, it kept happening. It was a recurring phenomenon that he constantly got called in for these negative personalities, characters, and bad guys, and so on. And he felt like, wow, wait a minute, I'm an actor. I'm supposed to be able to play anything, and I'm keeping on being called in for these characters.
Voilà.
Right. Next.
The inspiration from my films, I'm sure very close to the inspiration for your film. Mine was the narrative version, and here's the doc. But I, at the time, I've worked in entertainment for the last 15 years, and so being on social media was really a part of my job. I was being an innovator and looking at all the new platforms where we can create content. And you know, of course, when they first came about, like, I'm not a millennial, but I feel like my career, like, I acted like a millennial because I had to. And as you know, as it went on and it became clearer and clearer about what I wanted to do, I felt this need and this pressure, especially as a woman in the industry, to portray myself in a certain way and to really brand myself online for all of my network of people to know what I was doing. And it really came to a head when I was vice president of a network to do all of their digital content, and I just was very stressed and really connected to my phone, not only for work, but I found myself looking into other people's lives as a device to escape my own life. And at the same time, I read a few articles about social media envy and Instagram jealousy. I was like, I have that, because I would be looking at these other women in the industry that were doing the projects I wished I was doing, and at that time I was thinking about doing a short film, and this is came up.
That's very interesting, because all of us who run this type of business, in the entertainment business, we do fall into that trap. What happens to me is, like, at 2 a.m. if I'm tweeting and I go, oh my God, so-and-so is doing that, so-and-so is doing that. And then you don't realize that, yes, but you are also doing whatever else you are doing, and you are seeing the plethora of what is out there, but each one is doing one thing. So you cannot compare yourself to that 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. Suddenly you're comparing yourself to thousands, when in reality each one is a unit, and you have to take it as a unit, not as a thousand, because it's very stressing. And then when I realized that, I said, oh, okay, calm down. Calm down. But it's very important, because we have become this.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's two ways, because there's your perception of other people's lives and what you know you're putting out there, but then you can never control the other side. So if you post a photo that maybe you just think is a beautiful photo, and even if you caption it appropriately, like the majority of people don't read, so they just look at the photo and they're taking their life experience to interpret your photo, and they may come away with some other conclusions.
And share it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really interesting how it snowballs into something that is out of your control, and you're just leaving it into Twittersphere. And then it becomes another person, something else. So,
well, that ties very nicely into mine.
We can just have one conversation.
Yeah, we can go back and forth. But yeah, I've been wanting to do some kind of project with this topic for a long time, because it's been relevant to my life on, you know, it's interesting yours is from a professional context mostly, it's what it sounds like, and for me it's a personal context, you know. Just noticing all this comparing, it just didn't seem healthy. And I was wondering, what are other people thinking about this? This is so strange, you know, and how everything, you know, you became a number. You're no longer a person. It's sort of representative of a person. You are how many likes you have. And, you know, it's not everyone thinks of it that way, but I think it's part of it that's hard to ignore. Not because you're a jealous person, but because you have eyes. That's my thing. You know, see numbers. So it's not really, an option. You can't ignore it. And so
I mean, that's how it's set up.
Yeah, that's how they do it. But actually, what was interesting to me in the research that I was doing for this is that the like button was not introduced until later on.
Well, there used to be a dislike button, you know that?
Well, I think people they wanted a dislike
at the
button.
beginning of Facebook, and then they removed the hate.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because people apparently have been campaigning.
And also somebody announces the death of their parent or something, and you're going like. And I'm like, excuse me? I mean, actually, the like is, yes, I am aware of it. It's an awareness button in reality, but then it says like. So you're liking the fact that somebody died and their funeral is tomorrow. I mean, it's more,
it feels like it's more complicated than that button reduces it to.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking we are also attached to these devices where we check Facebook, whether it's your phone or your computer. Wherever I go, I see people scrolling through. I was guilty of it myself, and I was just wondering, what do people really think about this? So that's why I really wanted to do this project and kind of see, because I'm thinking, okay, if this is just me, all right, I'll step back and get over it. But people, it really does affect everyone's lives. I just noticed that it's not something that we talk about. But once we started the conversation, people have all these insightful comments, and it really has affected their lives.
Actually, it's quite interesting because it's how you use it. True. That we have to define that, because there are the positive sides of it, especially if you're using it as a business tool. Like I work for another company as well. It's a digital archiving company, which through the process of photogrammetry creates 3D models of art and architectural monuments and things, especially nowadays, everything that's being destroyed in Syria on the hands of ISIS. And of course we know that Palmyra has been completely flattened, but through crowdsourced photographs we have been able to recreate that. And you can look at it on Friday and on Saturday. They were there from the Los Angeles company, and they set up a virtual reality thing, so you can put the goggles on and you can actually walk around in Palmyra, which doesn't exist anymore. So all this is quite interesting. So I run their the Facebook page, and of course it's aimed towards the Middle East and people who are in those areas. And there was one that I put out and boosted it. It got 25,000 likes, which is a huge number. But then between the number of likes and the call for action, there is a big gap. And of course we have that experience with the festival as well. Every time I post something, people like, but then where are they? How do you reach these people? So it's a tool, but at the same time, it has its shortcomings. So what else can I ask? Now that everybody has said something about their film, maybe we should open it and make it a discussion, because this is something everybody has an opinion about and can chip in. Yeah.
How has making this film changed your interaction with either social media or with the way you present yourself versus the way you feel? To all of you.
Let's repeat it for Hassan. Making a movie about
how is making this movie for each of you change the way that you put yourself out there versus feel?
How you feel, yeah. Comment le fait que tu as fait ce film, comment ça change ta propre perception de toi-même et ce que tu penses que les gens pensent de toi. C'est la différence entre les deux. Donc on va prendre, you want to answer? Yeah.
For me, I think throughout the process, I've become much more self-aware about, my usage habits, just the habits in general. So I was recently married, we went on our honeymoon, and I deleted all the apps from my phone just so I could take a period of time where I didn't even have the option to look at it or not look at it. And I really did notice, even down to the kinds of so it was very differently, like knowing whether I was going to post them or not post them.
Yeah.
But there'd still be those moments like, oh, this would look great on Instagram in a little square, but then it was like, well, I'm not posting it, so. In terms of, I feel like I don't look to that as an outlet anymore, really kind of as an escape, and I for sure consider all of my posts to make sure that they're like pretty authentic and, really being true to what I'm doing. And I do notice, I know in your film you had that bit about the number of birthday comments and things.
Yeah.
And so for my birthday, I actually took the day off Facebook and didn't check it until the next day, which kind of made my birthday last longer, which was nice. But I noticed that this year I got more personal calls and texts and emails about my birthday than I'd ever gotten. And I really do think it's because I've been promoting this film online and people know that this is a subject that's important to me. So that's been a nice change.
That's good. Yeah, it's interesting because when first Facebook came out, people didn't know what to make to make of it. Some people were just dismissive of it. Other people jumped on it, and then you posting things like, oh, my cat, my dog, my baby, my funny things. Oh, my vegetable or whatever. But later on, it became a tool that we could use, and then we're also evolving. Facebook is evolving, we're evolving, and now we're finding maybe a better way. And it's not just Facebook, there's Twitter, Instagram, all sorts of whatever, all of the above. And each one has its ways and means of how you use them, what you make out of them.
But all those platforms share the same construction in that they're all constructed to validate. And I think, Oprah Winfrey said it best once that at the end of the day, everybody just wants to be acknowledged. They want to be heard.
Right.
And all of these platforms open that up to allow you to be heard on a larger platform. At the same time, it quantifies it, which automatically reduces it to a self-esteem issue.
And to a presence, to a digital presence. Yeah. So. C'est-à-dire que quand tu as fait ce film, tu as vu la perception de toi-même. Est-ce que ça a changé depuis que tu as fait ce film?
Non. En fait, la perception de moi-même, elle a eu bien avant de faire le film. Parce que moi, j'ai fait un travail sur moi et je me suis rendu compte en fait qu'il fallait juste s'aimer. Et donc le regard des autres, en fait, il est secondaire. Ce qui est important, c'est comment on se voit soi-même.
And Hassan says that he already had an idea of himself before he made this film. Of course, his is a little bit different because it's not about social media, but it's also about the casting process and how you are perceived. And then he says that after he made it, après que tu as fait, ça n'a pas changé?
Non.
La même chose.
Non, ça n'a pas changé parce que moi j'avais déjà le recul.
Wait, it didn't change very much because he had stepped back and he had already looked at the way he was becoming stereotyped into those roles. So that was the step back and his looking at that situation that made him make the movie in the first place. So it wasn't the other way around. Yeah.
So, I would say that on a personal level, going through the process of making this film, it made me feel a lot better because, I wanted to make it for two reasons. The first one, as a filmmaker, because I thought it was an important issue that people were talking about. But the second reason, for personal reasons, I was wondering, does anyone else feel the way that I do? How do people feel? So it was very, very good for me to be able to get these perspectives. And I got a range of different perspectives. Some people were very pro Facebook. Some people were somewhere in the middle. They're like, you know what, I really like it, but there are things about it that I don't think are so healthy. And some people, were like, I don't think this is great for us. But so that was really interesting for me to discover through interviewing everyone. But yeah, it was just sort of I was on a path, because I have had a love-hate relationship with Facebook ever since I got it, basically. So I've been going back and forth, like I want to delete it, I want to leave, and I don't want to do this.
But it's tricky because I have some friends that sometimes they go, I am going to be removing myself from Facebook for the next 2 weeks. And I go, I don't care. Remove, don't remove. Why are you announcing it?
Some people
the fact of announcing it tells you already that so dependent they are on it that they need to announce announce that they're going to be away. Now, okay, go away, don't let me know, you know. And sometimes it happens to me that a few days ago in a road and I haven't checked, and I go, oh, look what happened. Somebody's dog died, somebody's cat gave birth, and but then who cares at the end of the day? And also sometimes you take it as a distraction because you're doing so much else elsewhere, and you go, oh, let me do something mindless. So it can serve that purpose too.
But that's a little tricky, right? Because that things have become mindless, but we care about the people that are close to us.
Of course.
And so that's I think part of the problem is that they're calling it friending. People that you don't even know, and someone mentioned this, who are these people?
I know.
Shouldn't we do care about people's views?
I have 3,500
Right, you can't, are they really friends? That's why it was interesting to hear what...
I have unfriended one person in my life. One person. Because, you know why? I have to say it. It was pro-gun. And I said, I am sorry, I am not sorry. Yes, but, I said, no, and all the buts, ifs, anything, gone, bye. And then he goes, yes. Anyway, that's it. That's my position, yes.
Well, so many things going through my head, but you're touching on the professional or political side, because also there's different users use it for different things. Even in our work lives, we start to use it, in politics, even the presidential race.
Totally.
But Meredith, in your film, I found it interesting because if I were looking at it on a Facebook platform, I would know like the sample of people that you interviewed were from which place and what their background was, and geographically. And I found myself in the film wondering, okay, so are we in San Diego? We're definitely on a university campus. They're all students, they're highly educated, but I don't really know. And then I saw that Wharton on someone's, right? So then all of a sudden I was starting to stalk the person, figure out, okay, where's Wharton? Okay, that's in Philadelphia. Okay, is this a sample of people from Philadelphia? So it was interesting because I started to think how to interact with the documentary format versus the social media.
That's interesting.
But I was wondering also if you would expand it out to, say, less educated or older people. I might be interested to expand the social network.
Right, I would have loved to do that. And actually, I was thinking about that.
Do it.
Maybe next time. Yeah, resource-wise, I was very, very limited. $0 budget. But, I do think, that would be very interesting. I do think that I feel the worst for people my age and younger, because I think that people are just becoming so ingrained and people don't really have a shot of living another way. I think, I know, family members, parents who have a very positive experience with it. And it's just a really nice platform to catch up with people who you haven't seen since high school maybe. It's a positive thing. I just think that's why I think it's very, I would love to expand the project, but I think the focus still, my interest would be in people in a certain age, just because I think that they're the most, affected by it. I don't want to say trapped, because I really tried to keep my bias out of it as much as possible.
It's like smoking, wine, drinking, and all that. If you're able to stay within the limits of moderation, then
it's how you use it, right? So I think that because
it can be an addiction too.
I think it is an addiction. That's why I think that the part where it becomes maybe unhealthy, and I think that younger people are more susceptible to that.